So Aquarius, I felt compelled to do this reading. There's some energy around you, and I don't know if it's a particular person or a group of people. It's like an energy of somebody who wants your forgiveness, discernment, initiation. It's like an energy that can't let you go. Nourishment, weightlessness, discernment. What is this energy? Connection. See, yeah, and something's been destroyed, something's been cracked. It's like somebody, or it's almost like a group squaring the circle, connection. It's almost like squaring the circle, weightlessness. What is this? Emotions, yeah. Somebody, it could be a group of people. It's like this group may have made something impossible for you, but they're feeling emotional. What's the emotion? Compassion. This may be a group of people who made something literally impossible for you. And now they are feeling compassion. It's like they feel like you're capable of doing something. Yeah, they feel that you're great. What I'm going to do, greatness, abundance. Let's just, I know this sounds weird, but I'm going to use this giant love oracle deck just to see what are these people wanting to say, if they could, to Aquarius. Because I feel, yeah, I'm not ready. I'm missing you so much. I'm so sorry for everything that I've said and done. I'm working up the courage to contact you. I'm missing you so much. I'm so sorry for everything that I've said and done. It's like a group that did you wrong. Working up the courage to contact you. Twin flame. I don't think it's a particular person, though. I'll come back for you. See this? Let's try the other side of the deck. What is this energy? What are they thinking and feeling? Because I feel like this is a group that was cruel to you. I was being selfish. I'm sorry. I've made some mistakes in my life. I realized I was wrong. Secrets and deception. I feel like I'm not enough for you, and I feel you have expectations. I was being selfish. I'm sorry. It's like, are they ever sorry? We'll get some tarot now and see what this is. Just this energy you want to say to Aquarius. Fights, arguments, conflict. I dream of you. They may have caused you a lot of conflict. Yeah, they may have caused you a lot of conflict and toxicity. They want to say to Aquarius, I feel lost without you. Because they don't have anybody to fight with, probably. 3 coming out. I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. Make a wish. I promise to make your wish come true. I feel lost without you. What do they know that they've done wrong? Like this just came out. Yeah, I was being selfish. I'm sorry. I want to make things right. I choose you. I choose us being together. I think that's a little too late. Keep my distance to avoid my true feelings and desires. I want to make things right. I choose us. I choose us being together. Okay, now there's one way over here. I feel like I ruined everything. They did ruin something for you. I'm taking my time planning the best way to approach you to do it right this time. Keep my distance to avoid my true feelings and desires. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like I ruined everything. You are always on my mind. Repetitive cycles. What's underneath this? I know that I was selfish and immature. Please forgive me. Let's get some tarot. I mean, it could be one person, but I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, let's get some tarot and see if we can figure out what this is. All right, what is this energy that I'm picking up on? Please show me. Show me this energy, what this energy is thinking and feeling right now. In 2 more. I just saw the world a minute ago. 1 more. Show me this energy. Okay, there's 3 coming out. Yeah, look at this. So, whatever this is, whether it's a group or a person, so this is the energy of something very sophisticated, sneaky. It's serious deception, and it can be theft. Yeah, and they're wary right now. I feel like they're wary of you. They could be wary of you because here you're very comfortable on your own. You're not suffering. You're focusing on your stability here. There's something manipulative that they did. And it's almost like they're worried about evidence that they may have left behind. It could be really trying to get away with something or hoping that they've gotten away with something. What's interesting about the fact that we've got the 9 of Wands underneath the 7 of Swords here, especially with the Magician there. So I think the Magician should be read in the reverse. It's a very manipulative card. What's going on here, especially with the 9 of Wands, is that things did not go the way that they intended things to go. The reason why they're looking at you as the Queen of Pentacles, one thing, if you compare the Queen of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles is a hard worker, all right? It's cardinal earth. This person has played the hand that they were dealt with, and they've done it very well. So that's what went the way they didn't want it to go. You've made lemonade out of lemons. You've done something incredible. What were they doing here? God knows what. This person right now, though, is literally trying to run away from the truth. And they are looking back, hoping that they've covered their tracks. What were they doing? Definitely in the 7 of Swords, something underhanded. It's some kind of deceit, some kind of betrayal, something corrupt. It was also very well planned out. There's definitely a lot of deception and secrets here. This person, is a hidden enemy. They want somebody to fail. They may have taken something without somebody's permission. It's extreme deception, along with the Magician. This is what they're hoping. There's some kind of extreme manipulation here, that this is what they're running from. They're hoping that isn't seen, by others or by you. Show me more, please. It's this energy. Yeah, here we go. They tried to destroy something. They really did. They really did. There's backstabbing and betrayal here. And this split makes perfect sense here. Because, so the 10 of Swords, I feel, is whatever this energy is, it's what they tried to do to you. The name of this card is the Lord of Ruin. And look how carefully these 10 swords are placed in this person's back. It's overkill. But it's also dawn in this card. And this hand gesture shows that this person is not dead yet. It's dawn here. And what has ended here? You often hear of the 10 of Swords being the end of a toxic cycle. Well, it's the end of illusions. It's a final ending. It's where loss leads to new cycles. The irony in this is it may have however you dealt with it, whatever hand you were dealt with, this is how you dealt with it. The world has to do with absolute total ascension. It's the final stage of spiritual unfolding or spiritual ascension. It's where you completely shed all earthly attachments. You drop the personality and you become the helper. All feelings of separateness are gone. All earthly attachments are shed. It's an incredible, courageous card. And they may have ended something for themselves. It's over. Something's over for them. You're done. They can't manipulate you anymore, that's for sure. This is, whether this is from a person or a group, I think the Magician here should be read in the reversed energy, and I feel like this is their energy. So these people or this person, they don't believe in God. They have an inflated ego. This is the energy of a nihilist. These are people who believe in power from the ego, from man. That's where they put all their faith. There's an idea here of that, not focusing on long-term goals. It's always short-term strategy, and what's in it for them. Total lack of gratitude, total lack of faith in God, no belief in God whatsoever. There's an idea of manipulation here through the use of words, exaggerating things, overstating things, use of hyperbole. Just look at this. They may, in fact, have used words. Look at this. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy. There's something as well, there's some kind of truth about some kind of ending. And it's going to come back on them here. There's something that's going to come back on them. And it's because they have not faced a truth about an ending. I feel like you've been very, this is an apology that they owe you, but there's been something that hasn't been put into words. How is this group or person feeling about Aquarius? Yeah, it is a group. It is a group. It is a group of people. They attacked you. So I do feel like there is a group of people. There may have been a group of people from different sectors here working together, because what I'm feeling is you are under some kind of attack, but notice how these sticks coming at you are faceless. So it's almost like, and you're looking over here, well aware that you're under attack, but you're not sure who these people are. You may have been certain who one of them was, or maybe two of them, but there's a feeling that you have here of others, attacking you. But they're anonymous. You can't see who they are. And no one was helping you here. They're all brave, as long as they're anonymous and working together. This is a tight-knit group. There's a secret among them that they have to keep. They're celebrating here an attack. This could be in the past, because I feel like, I do feel like this is over with, because that's what happened to you, I feel, in the past. And this is this group of people standing there, looking back. See this? 77 here. July 7 could be an important date. The number 77, the age 77. 1977, the number 14. 7 years or 7 months. A lot of times this person is being attacked because they've reached the top. somebody wants to take them down for no reason. This could be the underdog being under attack. This person or these people, there's an idea here of this person feeling torn, not being happy, feeling like at the present moment things have failed. They can even be looking back, reminiscing, and feeling heartbroken. Very often, this person is stopping to listen to their higher self. This person has survived with a little help from above, from their higher self. What are these people thinking and feeling right now, or that person? What's going on in the Seven of Pentacles? Yeah, they're thinking, they attacked you. Just look at this. This is a huge attack. These people did damage of some sort. You know. Now, they may be looking back on you. Maybe this was you defending yourself because, of course, the Knight of Swords is pure Aquarius energy. It's fixed air, which is pure Aquarius energy. It's fearless, without any fear. It's a gallant, it's like a soldier who literally rides into the battle looking death straight in the face. There's no fear here. It could be, they could be thinking about how you defended yourself, or it's either or. What are these people or this person in the Seven? What is this going on in the Seven of Pentacles? Yeah, they're worried about what's coming around. That's what they're worried about. I just saw 1, 2, 2, 2, by the way. If you've been seeing 2, 2, 2, this could be, I'll tell you what that indicates. So there's a couple of things that it indicates, but one of the things that it indicates, and I think is relevant to this reading, is reciprocity, which tells me that something is going to come back on them, on these people. Something that these people have done, they better make amends with you, because something is going to happen to them. Whatever they've done to you, I feel like it's going to come back on them, multiplied by 10, or whatever they tried to do to you. It also is a sign to be yourself. Just keep being yourself. Yeah, wow. Beautiful. It's really good news, that's for sure. Now, speaking of reciprocity, part of this boomerang, part of whatever you had to go through, part of this reciprocity is that something good is coming your way. See how weird, it's really strange the way this works. But there's good news coming into you. It's really good news. There's some kind of a change coming in, an opportunity for you. And have a look at the pyramids here. There's the other thing that 222, by the way, is associated with is being part of the creation processor. You are part of the creator. You are a co-creator. So one of the other meanings of seeing 222 is that you are becoming aware of your connection to the divine creator. And with this connection, my left ear is starting to ring really loudly right now. You're using your talents and your light. You're focusing your energy in an area because the world needs your gifts and your talents. So that's what's happening here. So this is part of this boomerang. What is something was trying to peek out here. Yeah, this is true. There's change coming in here. Action, change, victory. Yeah. And I feel like this group, I don't know who this is or who these people are, but it's like they this is their loss. What was one of those cards? I'm missing you. I'm just going to roll this deck here. I feel like I feel terrible for hurting you. I feel like I can be my true self without you. I feel empty without you. I'm changing and learning some hard lessons. I'm making changes for the better. I wish I could give you more. Finances are a problem. Long distance. I love you. I know that I've put you through a lot of pain. I'm in pain too. And I'm sorry. You deserve better than me. I feel terrible for hurting you. I wish I could give you more. Just going to roll the other side of the deck. It's like if this is a person, you inspire me in so many ways. You inspire me in so many ways. I ran away because I felt like I couldn't live up to your needs and expectations. You are so different than anyone I ever met. And I love everything about you. I think that this is part of the reason also why you were under attack. You were misunderstood. Whoever this was or whatever group this was, they could have used your talents. This is on them. Yeah, look at this bloody ending. It's an ending for them. Wow. Whoa. This person or these people are in awe of you. Literally, you have faced death and gotten through it and transformed. I feel like, they are feeling this impending doom here. By the way, for some of you, this could be quite serious. Somebody may have literally tried to make an attempt on your life. I feel like that's just for a few of you, and I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be exaggerating when I'm saying that. There is something really serious here. But for most of you, this is either a person or a group of people who really thought that wealth and power, made them, made them as if they didn't have to face the same fate as others do. But they're actually in a weaker position right now by attacking you the way that they did, your response to it, you're just having survived the attack. It's almost like they've created a monster here, because now they're in awe of you and in fear of you. And if anyone did to them what they tried to do to you, they wouldn't survive it. They wouldn't survive it. I feel like these people are very materialistic, and they are afraid of death. They can't take this no for an answer. They can't take this ending for it. They just can't accept it. Whatever they did, it's led to an ending between you and this person or you and this group. And I just feel like they're frustrated because they feel like they don't have any choice in the matter. They're not used to this. This is a no for them. Show me how else they're thinking and feeling. Yeah, no, this is a very, very close-minded group. Ditto on all of the above. Look at this. Whoa. You could think of the Hierophant as being the laws of man, of social order, rigid thinking, what people ought or should, or, the laws that we must follow. And there's an idea here that, it's like a fake spiritual, rigid doctrine. It's without any faith and without any real belief in God or in any higher power. By the way, Arthur Edward Waite actually was born into a Catholic family. His mother was Catholic, and he later converted to Judaism. Just in case you think, that he's anti-Catholic, he was actually born into a Catholic family. He is, however, in a very suggestive way, very critical of Orthodox Catholicism. So this could be a person or a group of people who purport to be godly people, or they they'll swear on a Bible in court, and, they'll, they will acknowledge, mainstream orthodox religions, if whatever is the religion, that is acceptable and of the majority in that particular society. It's the external doctrine of religion. In other words, it's without any faith whatsoever, truly. So, for example, if we go back to when Jesus of Nazareth was put on trial, and remember that he was actually acquitted, he was found not guilty, the judge then was forced to reverse his decision, and it was mostly by religious leaders who demanded that Jesus be executed, that there be an order made from the judge for his execution. These were supposed religious leaders who demanded that he be executed. By the way, just before I go on, for those of you who are wondering about historical sources for the existence of Jesus, first of all, we can go back hundreds of years before Jesus was born, and relying on completely, utterly non-religious historical texts, such as trades letters that were kept in the Middle East, and historical texts regarding who the kings of Egypt were, going back 500 years before he was born. Actually, going back much further than that. I could go on for 2 hours listing the non-religious sources, but specifically in relation to Jesus. Guys, I just paused it on 2222, no joke, totally by accident. Sorry, just specifically in relation to Jesus, there is a 20-volume, it's a historical, they call it a historiobiographical work. It is written in Greek, and it's by the historian Josephus, but it completely, the time span, it was published now in 94 CE, so that was around about 60 years after Jesus died, but it's based on other historical texts, and it brings all of the stories that are told about Jesus in the New Testament. It gives it all credit. Now, whether or not, I'm not going to go into the specifics, but there's absolutely no denying. We also know where he was born. He was actually born in Palestine, and he grew up across the border in Israel, in Nazareth, obviously. But we even have the remnants of the home that he grew up in Israel. So there's no question that he existed. This is pretty recent stuff, actually. Anything that was in the past, 2030 years or so is pretty recent stuff historically. Now, I'm just going to read to you something. There's another source that is widely accepted and considered to be credible regarding the crucifixion of Jesus by Wikipedia. No joke. So there was a Roman historian named Tacitus, Tacitus, and one of his final works was published in the year 116. So that's, AD, 116 AD. So again, we're looking at about 80 years or a little less after Jesus died. Anyway, Tacitus was also a Roman senator. Anyway, his final work, which was published in 116, and it was the 15th book of a series of texts that he wrote. In the 44th chapter, he writes about the execution of Jesus and the order that was made by Pontius Pilate. And I'm just going to read you a quote regarding the authenticity of his work and the credibility and reliability. Quote, "The scholarly consensus is that Tacitus's reference to the execution of Jesus by Pontius Pilate is both authentic and of historical value as an independent Roman source." And there are many, many, many other historical texts. So we have to start accepting that this is history. Forget about the word religion, just throw it out the window. It's history. He did exist, all right? And he was executed after being found not guilty after a trial. Now, by the way, Tacitus is referred to as a non-Christian writer, all right? Now, some of you might be thinking now, oh God, here goes Amabella pulling out her Bible, talking about Jesus. Boy, she's a real Bible thumper. Well, here's something interesting. Do you know the whole reason why these people wanted to kill Jesus, to crucify him? Why the chief priests wanted him dead? It was the religious leaders. Now the chief priests and the elders and all the councils sought false witness against Jesus to put him to death, but they couldn't find anyone. It was the chief priests who wanted him dead. Well, part of the reason why they wanted him dead was because he was a rebel. He had a total lack of respect for religious traditions. Total lack of respect for religious traditions. That's why part of the reason why they wanted to crucify Jesus. The people that he healed, and you don't have to accept that, but they actually, in the non-religious historical texts, they report that he was, part of the reason why they wanted to put him to death was because these people thought he was committing sorcery. So he must have done some pretty amazing things in terms of his healing practices. He was a real rebel. He also pointed out a lot of the hypocrisies, of the religious leaders and how they judged other people and punished other people, but he says, Jesus, explained that did not align with the energy of Spirit of God. And he did not claim to be a God or to be the Son of God. He explained very clearly, and I won't go through all the passages, that he came to bring the light of the Father into the world. Remember that out of the 10 commandments that Moses had proclaimed, Jesus pointed out that only 2 of them were important. One was not to kill anyone, murder anyone. Now that doesn't mean that there's a difference between self-defense, defending oneself or defending another, and lying to others, bearing false witness, lying. Remember that Jesus was the one who he absolutely despised all the other commandments. This ridiculous thing about thou shalt not commit adultery. Well, remember that in the Second Temple period, when some people had dragged this woman who was accused of committing adultery into the Second Temple, and they all said, "Hey, look, this woman has committed adultery, and according to the commandments, we have to stone her to death." And Jesus kind of ignored them. He was drawing in the sand. He said, "Okay, I see. Yep, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll start the stoning now, and the person who will start the stoning will be the person who has committed absolutely no sin whatsoever in their life." And of course, there was silence. And he made his point right there. And all of the men who had dragged the woman into the Second Temple with shame just dropped their head and walked out of the temple, beginning with the eldest. So Jesus was a huge rebel and was a rejected, tradition, religious traditions. this energy here is an energy of a group, okay? It's like government or a self-governing body, a society, and this and that. In fact, it's supposed to, in tarot, this is akin to the Pope. There's the triple crown there, the earmuffs. I don't need to hear you. What I say goes. These monks there will do anything to get past these pillars. They worship this person. This person is, thinks that they're God or closer to God than other people. Anyway, with the Hierophant and Death here, it's pretty powerful combination. Whatever you've been through, I just saw 444, whatever you've been through and whatever you did, you did the right thing, okay? I don't care what happened to you, what the results were. You stood up in that Seven of Wands. You stood your ground for what you know was true in your heart. Show me a little bit more. We may be nearing the end of the message. Wow. Amazing. Big difference between the Hierophant and the Queen of Cups here. Here's where a court card will trump a major arcana. Do you know what this cup is? It's not just a cup. It's a holy grail. Those are not mermaids on her throne. Those are angels. All queens are elementally water. This is water on water. She is pure subconscious. She is all spiritual. It's a major arcana card of Cancer. This energy is the energy of unconditional love, where it trumps everything. The Queen of Swords, is who you go to when you want some advice on strategy, because that's how she makes her decisions. The Queen of Swords is appalled, not appalled, but oh my goodness, by the Queen of Cups, because of course the Queen of Cups makes all her decisions, including business decisions, all her decisions, with unconditional love being the paramount overriding factor. There is no love here. There is no spirit. No wonder there was so much CA abuse within the Catholic Church. There's no love. When children, are subjected to that kind of thing, there is no love. It's not there. It's absent. And I believe that you are in the Queen of... Whoa, boy, do we ever have something complicated coming out here? I thought we were nearing the end. Yeah, look at this. Wow, we are at the end now. Here's what's coming to you. There's the reciprocity. Because you're focused on unconditional love as an overriding factor. This is a gift from God. This is something that's coming to you. And it's coming from, so it's something that you don't know. Right now you could be wondering, I don't know, well, I don't have any money coming to you. No, it's coming. A gift is coming to you, a tangible gift. And it's because of what you've been doing. And I'll tell you another thing. Here's the other thing that's intimidating the living heck out of this group. The Two of Swords, your inner vision. You've learned to trust yourself when all others doubted you. You've learned to rely on your intuition. You don't put your faith in what you see or hear. I'm sure you do use your five senses, your sixth sense, which is how you're connecting with spirit here. And this is what scares them because, they can't hide. Nothing can be hidden from you here. Because the way that these people hide things is they keep it out of sight or out of hearing or out of range of the five senses because they don't understand this sixth sense. What's the sixth sense? This woman has gotten up at about 4 a.m. to meditate. She doesn't need to see anything, doesn't believe what she reads or hears or what everyone tells her or gossips about. She's got herself very guarded here. Don't come near me, she says. Don't come near me. Not while I'm doing this. Now, because it's 4 a.m, whatever she's done here, tide is low. So all the danger zones, these jutting rocks, are visible. I mean, that's a metaphor. It's an analogy. It's analogous to her inner vision. So you just know, you have a sense. Your sixth sense is giving you information about these people, and it frightens them. It frightens these people. It could be why these people were frightened in the first place. Yeah, look at this. Wow. 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 If you took the Lover's card and you subtracted all spirit from it, you would get this card. Let me say that again. If you took the Lover's card and you said to yourself, what the Lover's card has in it fire, earth, air, water, and spirit, or you could call it God, Allah, Hashem, higher self, whatever. Well, if you subtracted this, you'd get the Devil card. If you turn that upside down and dump out the spirit, there's your spirit, fire, earth, air, water. Turn it upside down and dump out the spirit, you get the Devil. There's nothing really that's evil in this world. There is just a place or things or people where there is no God, no spirit, no Allah, no Hashem, no higher self. And so what you get is an emptiness of materialism, of a book, a piece of wood. What this is an incomplete version of what actually exists. Notice that this man and woman are not chained to each other. No, they're not. They're chained to what looks like a cube, but the cube is actually incomplete. It has no bottom. They are both chained to an incomplete truth. You could think of this as materialism. You could think of this, in other words, of the people who believe that all that exists is all that their 5 senses can pick up. Things that they can see, hear, touch, taste. So no wonder these people fear losing things or fear getting sick, because they don't know, that they think that the way that you get well is you have to rely on man, on medicine, on the wisdom of man. They don't believe in miracles. They don't believe. In fact, miracles, are reality. They're not very good physicists because they don't understand that everything comes from nothing. These people are afraid of death. They're greedy because they don't understand where everything comes from. They fear being robbed. They fear being stolen from. They also, because they don't believe in God, they rely on the judgment of man. So, of course, they're in fear all the time of being judged, because the only thing that they think is important is what other people think, or what society thinks of them, or their reputation. So all of that obviously can be lost because, material things come and go. That's the way material things, are not real. This is just the map. It's not the territory. The territory is in the quantum field. It's with source. It's up there. In a realm that our 5 senses cannot detect. So that begets envy, jealousy. There's no faith in oneself here. There's no value. People don't place value on your inner worth, because it's, it can't be seen. They think that what's important are titles, money, possessions, social status. These are all things. These are earthly attachments that have absolutely no value. You could think of this as the left side of the brain, where the part of the brain that takes in sensory information and processes facts and figures. Over here is the high priestess. Maybe this is the amygdala and the hippocampus. But of course, I believe that this is you. The high priestess is like a psychic. She is the guardian of the Akashic records. She has knowledge of all that is, all that was, all that will be, all the science that's ever been discovered and ever will be discovered, music, every musical stanza in every single Chopin prelude, everything that has been created by God, everything that could possibly show up in this world, it's already been done by the Creator. Now, I'm not saying that, I think that when I hear the word innovation, with what Aquarius does, you guys do, you come up with fresh ideas because you're tapping directly into source. You're not copying the ideas of others. That's not where you guys don't get inspired by that at all. You don't judge it either. But you tend to pick up on what you do is outside the box. It's not of this world because you're tapping into the Akashic records. Fool is the closest to God. Fool runs the most treacherous pathway 0, pathway 22, the way in and out of life, of the 3D. Now look at what has happened to you as a result of whatever you've been through. This person sits between these two pillars that are extremely powerful, and they are opposing forces. Boa and Jachin, they're supposed to represent the pillars that were at the front of the original temple that was built in Jerusalem, the first temple. On the tree of life that we use in tarot, on this side, we have the pillar of misery, severity, the pillar of severity where the fives are. Sephira number 5, Gevura, 5 of wands, the 5 of swords, all those horrible energies. And then we have a completely opposite, power over here on this side, where we have Netza. And the forces of these two pillars. However, yet she is unmoved. Think of our oceans and how the tides, our oceans swell up. The lunar tides, there is also a solar tide, but the lunar tides, the moon has a much more powerful effect on our oceans. Just think about that. The moon is sitting on her head there, but she is unmoved. She is not ruled by the moon. She rules the moon. Now, if we were to characterize the devil, which let's just for fun pretend that devil exists. If he does, do you know that he actually is probably the only one, besides the high priestess, who is aware of the power of God? He is completely aware that he is totally powerless compared to God. He knows that more than anybody does. That's why the devil thinks it is absolutely hilarious that people keep putting their faith in him, that people keep making decisions based on fear of money or fear of what people think. He thinks that's hilarious. I'm going to quote from the Rabbi's Tarot. In the long history of mankind, there has been no one who found their way to God without first having gone to the devil to learn the path there. Let's say that the devil were trying to tempt someone who was just diagnosed with a terminal illness. And the devil comes up to that person and they say, hey, look, I got a deal for you. I'll give you a couple of $1 billion so you can hire the best specialists in the world. Or I'll hook you up with that nun over there who they say you could tell her to pray for you. They say she's pretty good. Which would you like? The devil thinks it's hilarious that people would choose the billions of dollars. Why? Because the devil is eminently aware that if one has faith, according to the amount of faith in them, if one can contact that realm with one's own inner faith, a simple prayer can create a miracle, can grant that person absolute total healing. The devil is completely aware of this, completely aware. I don't know if any of you, I guess over a year now, I did a little download. I was actually sampling some music for Epidemic Sound one night, and all of a sudden this download came in. But part of it was the following. Spirit saying, what I saw at the beginning was, it was almost like a poster, and it looked like there was a boxing match, and this boxer had a 1 in 2,000 chance of winning. And the message began, the devil usually wins these days. I have a 1 in 2,000 chance of winning in this world. That's how much faith people in this world have put in the devil. So I would say that these two characters here are equally aware of the power of spirit. But the people that you've been dealing with, or this person or this group, they're down here. They're not the devil. They don't have this knowledge. They're chained to this incomplete truth here. And usually, people in that energy, they're not feeling very good. They're usually stressed. Yeah, look at this. Amazing. What they're left with is, guys, this is really, for some of you, this is very, really scary. The devil and the magician scream. I hate talking about black magic, but there's something here that was attempted to be done. And I'm not saying this in any way to tell you guys to be worried about it, because it wouldn't affect you. The people that this reading is for, it wouldn't affect you. In fact, it's probably bouncing back on whoever. It would bounce back on not just the person who hired someone to do this, but it would be bouncing back on the practitioner as well. All right. Anyway, at a minimum here, whoa, guys, I gotta just pause the tape for a second. Yeah, there's another side to this. See, these people, they believe that they can harness this power as well and manipulate it. So this is something like witchcraft, black magic. If it isn't that, it is that for some of you, but for most of you, this could be a group or a person who is just very highly manipulative and very scared, though. Very scared. This is very narcissistic energy. This is someone who's extremely materialistic. And they put all their faith in money, the stock market. They manipulate through money, power, the contacts, threats, court actions, bullying, that type of thing. cheating, corruption, backdoor deals. This is extremely corrupt behavior here. Paying off, people behind the scenes, gang stalking, a high degree of corruption here, and absolutely no faith in God whatsoever. This is where this is what they've been doing. Now they're going to have a problem. Yeah, they're afraid right now. They're scared to death. Why are they scared to death? Yeah, because they're beginning to realize something. They're having some kind of a spiritual awakening here. They're also afraid of exposure. They're afraid of exposure of what they've done. And they're afraid of the truth. These people are beginning to realize this is somebody who should be having a spiritual awakening. So these are people who are realizing that they're now realizing that you are right. There is a God. There is a higher power. They're frightened because you're free. You're untouchable. You're well. The power of this boy. The reason why the sunflowers are not growing toward the sun, they're growing toward the boy, is because of the immense, powerful feeling of freedom and purity. It's that powerful here. And there's no pentacles in this card. This is all spiritual, all beautiful photon, the energy of God, the energy of light, innocence, purity, freedom, a free mind. The truth. It's also, so somebody could be intimidated that there was a miracle of healing, or they could be intimidated because you're happy, or they could be intimidated because you're free, or because you were right, or they could just literally be overpowered. You may have a glow to you that is overpowering. A lot of you, some of you don't realize it, but I pick it up on the live sometimes from you. Your energy is, you might actually find, if people look at you and stare at you in a weird way, what they're picking up on is that there is actually a little glow, and it comes from the solar plexus chakra. It can appear as a little halo around your head, but it can be very frightening. Just have a look at how people, if you have people looking at you like this, it's a good thing. Also, the sun, this card often has to do with the combination of the conscious and the subconscious mind. So a while ago, we were looking at the devil and the high priestess, and I made a joke about the left brain and the right brain. Well, when they unify, they make a beautiful combination here. Is there anything else? I mean, this is an incredible reading. Is there anything else that Aquarius needs to know or is allowed to know? Yeah. Well, I actually believe that this is God. Lately, believe it or not, and I'm just sort of going through, I do believe that Jesus of Nazareth, it mostly is in the spiritual realm, but I actually think that God may be a person, in an earthly realm on the edge of the universe. Don't be put out by that. I may change my mind in the next few months, but there is something here. Okay, there's 3. Wow. Okay, I do believe I am going to read this as God in this reading. You see, what's happening here, and here's you, and I believe that you are a human being right now of the earthly realm, but just have a look at what you're being handed here. Something, again, out of the blue, out of nowhere, an opportunity coming to you. And it's because of your faith. And I believe that's the reason why these people are intimidated. where does everything, the source of everything. It's coming. The Empress is being handed these things here. At the same time, I believe that you are doing a lot of good for this earth, for the people around you, or animals, or at least you're loving toward Mother Earth. But there is an opportunity that is yours, that you've accepted here in this realm. And I believe it's something that it's a higher calling for you. It certainly is. Yeah. Just look at this. Look at this. Page of Pentacles is meant to build toward the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Incredible. Do you see how you are the source of everything here, though? The page begins anew. The Page of Pentacles is meant to build, that the ultimate goal of the page is to build toward the Ten of Pentacles. There's also a portal in this card that goes into another dimension. So, at a minimum here, you've got a much higher calling here, but I feel like this is building toward a new era, a new civilization, either that or something. There's something very advanced here. Just look at how unusual everything is new there on this earth. It's very short grass here. The mountains actually look like water. Yeah, wow. And there's the reciprocity. Everything is being balanced out here. Everything is being balanced out. There's some very important message that you're going to receive. It's an offering. It could be an offering to go into another dimension or to skip timelines. I'm not kidding. It's from this purple curtain. And the Justice card exists, I believe, in heaven. That's actually who we deal with. It's not God, and it's not. That is the ultimate arbiter of where we go next. So there's some kind of an offering that's coming to you, but I don't think that you're dying. I think it's coming to you in this while you're on this earthly realm. Something to do with. It's some kind of a message. Just a minute now. About this unfair behavior. What is this Page of Pentacles message? Oh, it could be from God. What is the Page of Pentacles message? It's about the unfair dealings. It's about the collaboration. Okay, what is this message? Okay, so there's this Queen of Swords is seeking justice and clarity about this collaboration. You may have been seeking justice and clarity about something for a long time ago. Yet, there we go. It's there's that angry energy that we were looking at. I believe that this is something you may have been I believe that this is your message here. And it's not that you were angry with the Four of Wands. Whatever you did, the power behind your bravery and, the way that you're not afraid of death here, it's because you're defending, because I believe that this is a kind of a level of heaven, the Four of Wands. It's a welcoming energy. And I believe that there's something in you that's outraged when people defy God or defy love. Yeah, absolutely, because there's God in the Four of Wands. Yeah, aha. So have a look at how God is looking at the Magician there. Not very happy. That's because this person thought they were God, or these people. They were manipulating. They were manipulating and trying to act like they were God. They were trying to cause a tower. They are going to go through a tower, by the way. They are going to go through a tower. Yeah, they're going to go through a tower. And I believe that you just need to stand back here. Yeah, you just need to stand back. Whoa, here comes the Grim Reaper. Yeah. I believe that you are going into this utopia here. This death card, which is what, look at the Archangel Michael there, at this incredible. You just need to be patient here and stand by. Yeah, just be patient. Mother Earth is going through a transformation. Mother Earth is going through a physical transformation here, and so are you. You're going to come out on top here. Are you ever? You're going to come out. And I also believe that you're coming out as someone who is celebrated here and appreciated. There's some kind of a new Mother Earth here. Yeah, poor old devil there you're winning out over the devil is what's happening here. This is the 1 and 2. There's Jesus, yeah. There's Jesus sitting on the firmament. See the waters? See how they look exactly like the Van Allen belts? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, you know what I have a feeling? Yeah, because Jesus is outraged and God is outraged because okay, here we go. I knew this was coming up. Now we have judgment. Now we're at the end of the reading. Now let me tell you what's happening here. All of these people who have done you wrong, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. And you're going to stand back and you're going to watch this. You're going to watch this happening, but just know that you're safe. All right? Those people that put all their faith in material things, Isaiah 15, they shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols. These people that thought that they were the makers of things, that they were the creators, that they were God. Isaiah 46. I am the Lord, and there is no one else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none besides me. I am the Lord, and there is no one else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. For thus said the Lord that created the heavens, God himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is no one else. Look unto me, and ye shall be saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God, and there is no one else. And so they are learning the lesson from the book of Isaiah. I am the Lord thy God, and there is no one else. I create peace, and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So good luck. You're sitting pretty. Anyway, one last little message. Oh, it was very, very heavy. I think these people are actually afraid. You are a jewel, even though you may not see it. What you consider imperfect is an illusion. Even in darkness, you shine eternally bright. One chakra card. For Aquarius. Just flew out. Signs. There will always be signs to guide you on your true path, third eye chakra. So just keep your intuition. Just follow your intuition, my dears. What an incredibly powerful reading. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if it resonates